Why are you mad? Because of what happened?
Well, okay, first off, let us introduce ourselves.
Yes.
I'm Diana.
I'm Andrea.
And this is
Bitch the Pot.
So, we probably sound so dry and so bitter right now because we already recorded this episode. And it was ready to be edited and everything.
It was great. Like, the transitions were...
It was a decent episode,
yeah.
Okay? Like, we weren't dry as fuck or anything. But something went wrong with the SD card. We don't know what. I tried fixing it, but we had a time crunch where I had about 20 minutes to fix it. And the thing is, she was driving while I was trying to fix it. I get car sick so easily. So I was trying my best, but I couldn't fix the SD card.
As if she didn't have, like, car sickness the past 3 days.
Yeah, it's been rough. Anyways, so we're re-recording this episode, and it's probably going to be... It's going to be good, but...
It's going to be all over the place.
I'm going to be bitter the whole time. Because I'm just thinking about how, it was so good, and now it's gone.
It's like we're repeating ourselves. But no, we're going to give it a different little...
A little twist.
Little twist, yeah.
As in, I still have the audio from when we recorded the last... When we first tried recording this, I have the audio. The audio worked. It was the actual video that didn't.
All right, well, let's start by talking about our Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving, for anybody that saw the Twitter updates that I was typing away, she was gone for Thanksgiving because she went to Vegas to celebrate her birthday. Happy belated birthday. And I was stuck editing everything and exporting everything on the day of that I posted, which was Wednesday. And because I have to edit everything at home from my laptop, that cut my time from, usually it takes me about 2-3 hours to edit everything and export everything and get it ready so that once it's time to post, it's already ready and done. But because I was doing it all from home and from iMovie, it took a total of, I don't know how many hours to edit, but then it took about 4 hours to export, and then another 4 hours from exporting to YouTube. So it took me 8 hours just to sit there and wait for it to finish exporting. And I was really frustrated. I wanted to pull my hair out, but I got the episode out before Thanksgiving, just like how I wanted. It was super late, though. Well, not super late, because I feel like everybody was awake.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. You get, like, your 5th plate wrong.
No, I posted it Wednesday.
Wednesday? Oh, okay.
I tried to keep up with the posting schedule.
All right.
Speaking of posting schedule, I don't know if this is going to go up today.
Because,
we're recording this on Wednesday, and we always post on Wednesday. I'm going to try my best to get it up today, but who knows? It might end up coming out Thursday or... Well, no, I'm going to try to get it out Thursday. So, this is going to be a day late, most likely.
Yeah.
But, I'm hoping that whoever's watching is understanding of it, because shit has been hitting the fan, and I'm not in the mood for it.
Finals have been coming up.
Yep.
It's just so bad.
But anyways, besides the editing and all the shit that I went through over Thanksgiving, it was actually pretty good because I spent most of my time, like, binge watching a ton of stuff, and I know that a lot of people have been talking about Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus yet because I don't have the time to sit there and watch it.
Yeah, but then after...
Yeah, after finals, I'm going to get Disney Plus for sure. But I want to make it, like, I want to get my money's worth, But I was trying to binge watch the few, like, Disney things that they have on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I watched Coco. I watched The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I haven't watched that one since it came out.
Really?
Yeah, I only watched it once.
I feel like my dad was so tired of it because every time a song would come on, I would turn the volume up all the way.
Oh, you're one of those. Oh, no. I wasn't that into that movie.
And my dad was kind of like, what the hell is she watching?
He was like, how old is she?
I know, because I really spent my time watching, like, all of that.
Whatchamacallit? Well, I do have Disney Plus, but I'm on that free week trial, and I'm trying to get my free money's worth of it.
Free money's worth.
But it's difficult because we be getting home really late, and it's like I still want to watch an episode of That's So Raven to go to sleep. So I've been trying to do that.
I miss That's So Raven.
That's So Raven was so good. Also, I just realized that on Disney Plus, I remember you asked me if they had Starstruck, which now you know they really do. I was like going through what they had, and I saw that they had what was that one movie called? Frank and Weenie, but it's not the new one, the recent one that we've seen. It's like an old like black and white Frank and Weenie movie, and I'm like, wait, what? And I was trying to look if they had the recent one, but I couldn't find it.
They're both in black and white.
They're both in black and... No, but like I'm talking about this is live action black and white. And I didn't know that there was a Frank and Weenie live action one. I only knew of the animated one. Mm-hmm. So I was really shocked. I was like, wait, what? What else did I see? I saw that they had the Sweet Life on Deck, which I did kind of watch it when it came out.
Sweet Life on Deck and the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch the Sweet Life on Deck.
You know, there was a lot of drama between... I don't want to talk about this too much. But between Cole and Dylan Sprouse and Disney.
No. I saw the Go-Gurt commercial. That was good.
The Go-Gurt commercial. That wasn't even for Disney.
I know, but I wanted to win it so bad.
I wonder who won.
I know who won. It's on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I thought that was fake.
It was fake?
I thought she faked it.
No, it's a guy. It's a guy.
Anyways.
Okay.
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is there was drama between Zach. Fuck, you fucked me up. I'm so mad right now, y'all. Basically, Disney wanted them to continue, but they didn't have an idea of what they wanted for the show. So Cole and Dylan, at the time, they were trying to decide between Disney or going to university, and they decided to stick with Disney. So they went and talked to Disney, and they were like, oh, we want to do a third season where, I don't actually remember the plot, but they gave Disney a plot to make the third season, where it ends with a reason, like, it gives them a good send-off, you know? And Disney was like, no, we don't like it. We'll think of something else and we'll let you know. So they walked away from it, and they were waiting for Disney to get back to them. Disney got back to them and basically gave them the exact same plot that they had already given to Disney. Disney was like, okay, so you guys are going to be here, and then it's going to end with a great send-off. And they were like, that's the exact thing we told you, like, 3 months ago.
So they just took the idea.
Yeah. So they were done with Disney's bullshit. They were like, you know what, we're not going to do the third season. We're just going to go to, because they both went to NYU.
Yeah.
So that's how it ended. Because of Disney, we didn't get a third season of Sweet Life on Deck.
We could have.
And it would have been so...
Wasn't the last episode of them graduating?
That's right? They graduated at,
the boat.
I forgot the name of the high school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how they finished it off. They graduated, and like all their speeches, I remember, made me cry. And to this day, every time I see a clip of the speech, I start bawling.
That's all I see clips of on Twitter of the last episode where, Cole's character doesn't want to go to school anymore because he didn't get into the school he wanted to. Yeah. And stuff. I was like, oh, they gotta stop.
But that was a really good show.
It really was. I only got to the last. I did see like some reruns, but not in order when they came out weekly. So I did see some episodes, but the last episode really did get me invested. I feel like the only episode that I really do remember from that show is when Cody dresses up as a girl and then they go to France.
He kisses Virginia. Virginia. Why did I say Virginia?
Virginia.
Victoria Justice.
Yeah.
That was her first kiss.
That was her first kiss?
I think that was his first kiss too.
What? Oh my god. Disney out here. No.
Well, yeah, a lot of like child actors. That's what I've been thinking about lately, and I know it's so weird to think about, but I remember seeing this in an interview recently. Mm-hmm. Is that a lot of them have their first kiss on screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I would hate for the whole world to see my first kiss.
Oh my god. No. Imagine you just like scrolling through your TV years later and it's just reruns of you in that first kiss.
No thanks. That's my nightmare.
Oh my god. That'd be funny.
But moving away from all of those shows, I also want to talk about like novelas that we grew up watching, because I know that, well, this episode's going to be called Y Soy Rebelde. So, of course, we have to actually talk about Rebelde.
Rebelde.
And what do you want to say?
Okay, so about Rebelde, I remember I didn't watch it in order. It was just one of those things where I had to fight for the controller. But see, the thing is that during that time, I would get picked up by my aunt. So whatever show she had, I either had to live with it or I had to be like, can I change it? And then I'd look at her and she'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I'd change it real quick. But, you know, it would start right after school, so I wouldn't miss a portion of it.
Oh, my God. I hated that it started right when school would end. Like, I want to say, we talked about this, but y'all haven't seen that we had already talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, to sum it up, Rebelde would come on literally when the bell would ring to leave school. And so I remember during that time, I had asked my mom if she could come to school and already be there waiting for me, so that when I came out, I could literally just like out of, you know,
we probably
out of the
so
room
much just for getting
hop
home.
into the car and be like, go, and then we'd get home and Rebelde would be on. And I mean, I would always miss like the first 10 minutes because I didn't live super close to school, but still, it was exciting, and I don't think I've ever had to do that for a show since.
The main thing I remember is from episode 1 where they crash, in the car crash for the guys, and then they do all these angles, right, where they go through all the like the fruit stands and people are like and they run out the way, and then they start to like spin around. Oh, my bad. They start to spin around, and all of a sudden you hear and then the dun, 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 dun. Like, it's just so funny to me.
That show was so dramatic and so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because and I think it was in the same first episode where the girls are all hanging out in the room and they keep hearing a fly and you don't see the fly, but they're all in the group and they're following the fly around, right? And so they're looking around, and then finally, like, towards the end when they're like about to get the fly, you see the fly on screen. It's like this giant black dot. Like, there's no way there's a fly that big. But, you know.
I've seen some pretty big flies in my days.
Okay, but for the sake of the show, it was literally just a black dot on the screen. And we just let them get away with it.
Oh, yeah, and then I remember you did mention how Angelique is in it. And how she's your queen and stuff.
I love her because then I saw her in the most recent Teresa, and then also she was in Ruby.
Yeah, she was in Ruby.
What else was she in? I don't know, but she's my queen. I love her.
She's been in like more recent ones, but Teresa is what she's known for, being like a bad bitch in it. Yeah.
But the original Teresa is better. I remember that my mom had told me that, and I started watching some of it, and
it is better.
Better, yeah.
There's this old telenovela called La Cuna de Lobos or whatever, and then algo así, I don't know, but they remade it, and I watched the ending of it, and it's so bad compared to the original one in the 90s. It's just so. The acting ain't it.
I feel like a lot of the 90s novelas were really good, but they were also really extra. Because when you try rewatching them now, it's like...
They're not. Maybe the audience has...
I feel like... I don't know. There's something about them that... At least they still somehow are better than La Rosa de Guadalupe. Okay. Which is like so bad, but so good.
So bad.
The sound effects and the music and when people be falling down the stairs, that shit is so
I told
extra.
You the whole plot for one of them about how she was like with her stepdad and stuff. Like, it was just so crazy.
And it's crazy to me that they're still recording, like, episodes for that show.
Yeah, they are.
Because I remember when it first started coming out, it was early 2000s.
Yeah.
And now we're in almost 2020, and they're still coming out with episodes that are all the same thing. Especially, do you remember they had like a imitation like Facebook episode where oh my god, it was so stupid. Just like, I feel like all of their understandings of like what the youth of today is going through is way off.
Yeah, they make them sound so I don't know.
They make it sound like we're out here doing the most.
Yeah.
Because then my mom had this idea in her head that I was like the kids in La Rosa de Guadalupe, and I was out here doing crazy shit.
Oh, really? My mom didn't really watch it, but I did. I recently went on YouTube and I saw, what's that one? Como dice el dicho, where they have like all these sayings in the end. They're like, I told you.
I love that one.
Okay. I saw that they're way past the season 61. And I was like, oh my god. Like, how many episodes can you come up with?
All of them.
It's insane. Yeah. I just saw one, I think yesterday. It was really good.
And then, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of reruns of like Vecinos.
Oh, Vecinos is good.
I love Frankie Rivers. My king.
Oh my god. They have Una Familia de 10.
That one is a bop.
And what's the other one? You mentioned it too, La Familia Peluche.
Eugenio Derbez. I love him. I love everything he has done. Instructions not included.
Oh my god, when they mentioned that in class.
That shit hurt me.
That shit hurt it. I didn't see that twist. Whatchamacallit? I remember you said something about how in La Familia Peluche, the youngest kid is still being dressed.
So they're still recording that show.
Insane.
And, well, not insane for Eugenio Derbez. But they started when the youngest character, which was the youngest son, he was probably like a toddler. He was like, well, not a toddler, he was like 5. When they started recording. And they always had him in like this all like lime green kind of outfit. And since they're still recording and he's still on the show, he's wearing the same exact outfit. Like, he's never changed clothes. I don't think I've ever seen him anything else except for when they did the I don't remember, I think it was like an hour-long episode where they got stuck on an island, or they think they got stuck on an island, but they didn't.
Oh my god.
That shit is so funny. I love it.
I don't really watch
That's probably why he did Overboard.
Shut up.
He was like, oh my god, inspiration.
Well, did you know that for Overboard, Anna Faris went up to the OG girl? I forgot her name. She was obviously in the original Overboard. She went up to her and asked her if it was okay if they could remake it. And she told her the whole plot and everything. And she was like, yeah, you guys should totally do it. I like the twist that now it's a man.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
But neither one of the movies really interests me.
Neat.
I don't know why.
I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. I was watching Overboard in Vegas on the TV because it came out. And I was like, wow. Yeah.
Oh my god. I also wanted to talk about George Lopez. And like all those shows that would come on at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
On, well, not just on Nick at Night, on anything. Because I remember it'd be 1 in the morning. If the TV was on Disney, Dave the Barbarian came on. Or
American Dragon.
The Emperor's New Groove. Oh my gosh. Yeah, The Emperor's New Groove.
The Emperor's New Groove didn't get its fame it needed.
It's so underrated. Well, I mean, now people probably pay more attention to it, but to me it was always like my favorite show, and nobody else liked it. And then because I brought up the topic, George Lopez, when that one would come on at 1 in the morning, it changed my life, because sometimes I'd be waking up in the middle of a nightmare and then George Lopez, I'd hear the song. That shit made me feel better.
It's crazy to me how they the intro was them jumping up in the air and stuff. I was like, wow, I've never seen that type of intro.
I've seen people recreating it.
Yeah,
that shit is so funny.
It's funny. Where did they recreate it?
No, I literally seen a guy like just taking his dog and like throwing him onto the bed. And of course, like he slows it down and then you hear the music. That shit's good. I love it. Quality content. So.
Okay.
George Lopez, One in the Morning. The characters, all of them were amazing. I love all of them, of course, for their own reasons.
Yeah.
But George Lopez in particular, the running gag of the show is that he has a really big head. And so when they would do, y'all, we have the doors and windows closed, but that car is passing so quick through that puddle that you could probably hear it.
Yeah, it's raining a lot. Well, not now.
Anyways, so they would do flashbacks of like him as a kid, and they would use his adult big ass head on a child's body. And then when I remember that they also did it with Ernie's character, which I think it didn't work because they did one episode where they put George and Ernie back in high school. So they put their big heads on like some random teens' bodies, and it worked for George, not for Ernie. I feel like they should have shrunk his head a little bit.
Yeah, like they should just had him as a regular guy. Honestly. What are you talking about? What? Why you look at me like that?
Because I don't like your idea.
Oh my god.
No, I think it made sense to put, because anytime they would do a flashback, that's what they would do, is they would take the character's head and put it on somebody else's body.
Oh.
So that's why I'm saying that, like, they should have, it was okay to do it with Ernie, but they should have shrunk his head a little bit. Because they kept it, like, a really big size the way they did with George Lopez.
I don't remember that one.
What else would come out at 1 in the morning that would really, like, I feel like there was also shows that they would start playing at like 3 or 4, because I remember that when I was like 5, my mom would take me, before I started school, my mom would take me to work with her, and she always had to leave for work at like 4 or 5 in the morning. So while she was getting ready, she would turn the TV on, and just whatever was on I would watch, and usually it was like Winnie the Pooh or there was one in mind, Out of the Box.
Okay, that's on you, yeah.
That's on me.
That's on
I created the show.
No, that's on you. I was never up that early.
Out of the Box was one of the best shows of all time, and I hardly remember any of it except for like the opening of the show. But it was really good, and I remember that one being my favorite. My mom always talks about it too. She's always like, "You used to always cry asking for Out of the Box."
Dang, I really just don't remember that show at all.
Well, because it's an older show. I think it's like 94.
Yeah, we weren't even born yet.
No, but I somehow still watched
you
it.
You were like 3 a.m.
But speaking of other underrated shows, there's our podcast, where we give weekly recommendations.
True. So what's yours today?
I know when we first recorded this episode, my original recommendation was H2O.
Oh my god, yeah. I was like, really?
But now I'm going to change that. My new recommendation, because if I'm not mistaken, it is on Disney Plus, but I'm not 100% sure. So either way, just find how to watch it somewhere, because it was a really good show. Roly Poly Oly. I remember that one being my shit.
I gotta Google these ones you were saying.
You've never seen Roly
Poly Oly?
I think that one's an older show too. Like, I think that one was coming on before.
The name kind of clicks in my head, but I can't put a picture.
They were like these little like yellow characters, and they would have like really, really like a sphere head and then a triangle body.
No.
And then their hands reminded me of the Hands from Me characters, that they were just like a little like a little nub. And their feet would be like clunky.
Hey, I gotta look up
their
these shows.
Like actual limbs, so like their legs were like toothpicks. They were like really thin.
Oh my god.
It was a good show.
So Roly Poly Oly is your...
Roly Poly Oly is my new recommendation. I don't care how old, how young you are, whether you have Disney Plus or not, find a way to watch it. It was one of my favorite shows, and I have it on VHS.
Oh my god.
Yes, I do.
I have seasons what through?
I mean, I don't know exactly which one I have on VHS, but I have it on VHS.
Let's see. Mine yesterday, it was The Luck of the Irish, but now I'm gonna change it because
it's a new day.
It's a new day, and now I have a new thought. So, I'm gonna do Christmas with the Cranks. It's like a 2005.
Yeah.
You know, I like that one. I like seeing that one for Christmas because it kind of reminds me of the National Lampoon's kind of like vibe, where they're trying to hide their shit, and the crazy thing happened to them where the older like parents are trying to not have Christmas at home and do all the traditions. They just want to go on a cruise, and like the whole block of like people who live on their street, it's just like egging them on that they should continue their. It's a good film.
I like how now the lighting changes when we're like at the end.
We're done.
Wow. Love this LA weather. So
I'm bitter.
I'm just bitter all around right now, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
I need coffee, honestly.
I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say. But that is the end for this week. We will hopefully see you next week if nothing like this happens again, which it probably will, but knock on wood.
That's wood right there.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Yeah, she knocked it.
So that is the end. We'll see y'all next week with new recommendations for our underrated podcast.
Yep. I'll be prepared.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.